Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Mind the Moments Thursday morning session brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. This is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino, so happy to be here with Tara Healey, founder and director of Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare's mindfulness program. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Suzanne. Good morning, everyone. So happy to be here with all of you. Nice to see so many joining.
Yeah, I feel like we're moving from that mode of summer. Everybody's kind of doing different things, and now we're getting to that point where there's a little bit of consistency in people's schedules. So we are very happy to be with all of you here this morning.
Hey, Suzanne, quickly, is there a way to enable the chat? It looks
yes.
like I think, yeah.
Every time, this is a whole new thing, and I always...
Yeah, no, I know. Sorry, everybody. We're gonna get that.
You ready to go? Type away. Sorry about that. I just got to get used to that.
No, I know. It's a new feature. So
yeah,
I don't know if it's a feature, but
no, we're all about privacy these days, but do what you do. We're grateful for Zoom, so we can't complain, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So yes, special welcome to all of our regulars this morning. I want to make sure that it doesn't seem like I'm welcoming the new people more than our regulars, because we love our regulars, but and also a very warm welcome to anybody that's new with us this morning. And if you're new to meditation, we've got you covered. We'll take you through the whole process this morning. We'll work through it together.
Yeah.
So we'll start, Tara will start with a question for the group as we do, and then share a few words with us, and we'll go into at least a 12-minute practice this morning. So really looking forward to sitting meditation with you. And for new folks, Tara will guide you throughout. Also, she will have some time for quiet time to practice some of our meditation, just practice being quiet, which is always a good thing. So with that, just go to the bottom of your screen, open up the chat, and then you'll notice at the bottom you can click the drop-down menu and choose everyone, and that will allow everyone to see your comments as you come in.
I need to actually do that to choose everyone.
Yeah. So
okay. All right.
Tara, what's the question you have this
morning? So I looked at the calendar this morning, and I saw that today was September 1st, and as the first day of the month and the month of September, my question is, what does this month mean to you? What word or phrase would describe your feeling about entering this new month? And it's funny, this morning I stepped outside early too, and I don't know where everybody is from, but I felt like this cold air, which was so nice, given the heat that we've had this summer. And I know, like last week, I talked a little bit about transitions and, what all of that means. But, it's September is kind of an interesting month for us, and just curious what it means to you. What word or phrase comes to mind as we enter this new month? And Suzanne, as always, I'll have you start, and then I'll say a little bit.
Yeah. So there's such an evolution depending on what part of life we're all in. I remember with my kids being younger, it was a time of a lot of activity. But now that my kids are older, September is a time that we go away. Like we spend, because we live in a town where a lot of people go away, we tend to love being here in the summer because it's so quiet.
Yeah.
We're going away to Martha's Vineyard in September, and it's just such a quiet time. And
oh, nice.
Yeah. So
so it kind of signals vacation for you. Yeah.
It's a favorite time. How about you, Tommy?
Yeah, I mean, I think the word that just came to me actually this morning, which is why I thought of the question, is there's some kind of anticipation, like of what is to come. Um, and really, in a way, I look forward to this time of year. It's one of my favorites. And I am looking forward to just kind of bundling up in warm sweaters and walking and going out for a run when the heat is not this intense. It's really unpleasant to run in this. I have to get up really, really early to so just yeah, I think it's kind of anticipation. I see that people are writing like new beginnings and preparing and transition and change, and it really does conjure all of those things, all of those things. And no matter how old we are, I think thinking about school beginning is um, is always in my mind as we approach this month too. So.
Yeah, I was noticing, I was away for a couple of days and I was noticing the school buses and I was like, oh,
Yes.
just it brings up a lot of like such lovely memories and also,
Yeah.
Just different feelings. So
Yeah. I think Sarah said last week that she's glad she's not going back to school. Yeah, that phase is over.
yeah,
My sister and her husband are both teachers, so like school feels very present for me and talking with them. But I think without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. But one thing I wanted to just share is that over the past couple days, I had an opportunity to sit a few days of silent retreat up in Barrie at the Insight Meditation Society. And one of the teachers there was talking about, that the reason why we practice daily or daily-ish is to really build fortitude for when things happen to us that are challenging or difficult, that we actually have this storehouse within us that we can then use to support, whatever might be happening. Because we can always count on change, as many people have pointed out here. And, sometimes change is unpleasant and sometimes it's really pleasant. We're happy for it. But oftentimes in life, we might have something we wish we didn't have, or we want something we can't have. And as life throws us various challenges, if we are practicing on a regular basis, we're kind of building this kind of internal mental fortitude to relate to it in a way that doesn't throw us off balance. And, I know personally this past year, I've had some challenges, and I have, whenever I ask myself, is this practice really working? And then I am faced with a situation that's challenging. And I've had a couple of those over this past year. Like there is something in me where I realize like, wow, like this practice really works. And you would think for someone that has been at this for as long as I have, that I wouldn't have a doubt about it. And I do feel ultimately an implicit trust in this practice, but to see it support me and that I wasn't thrown off kilter, that I actually could withstand some of what was going on was just incredibly valuable for me. And so just being on the retreat over these past few days, hearing one of the teachers who's a senior teacher at IMS talk about, we do this consistently and regularly, and all the neuroscience points to consistency, so that we are building these storehouses of, kind of balance and steadiness of mind. So they also talked a lot about steadiness, and that it's really hard to have insight to see clearly without the steadiness. So we're going to work on that now.
sounds good.
Yeah. So go ahead and assume a posture that feels like it's going to be best for you today. And always know that that could be standing or sitting. And you can sit in a chair or sit on a meditation cushion. Um, and if you're standing, um, you want to stand with your feet about hip width apart and a slight pelvic tilt just to remove any pressure on the lower back. Um, So go ahead and assume a posture that feels best and eyes open or closed. And if you decide to keep your eyes open, just gaze downward a little bit to help remove any peripheral distraction, but it's fine to keep the eyes open. Um, I'm going to be closing mine today. So just settle in, notice your posture, holding the body in a way that is upright and engaged. So careful not to kind of lean back on a chair, but hold your body upright, um, engaged. And see if you can surrender your weight into the support of the surface. So just letting the earth hold you, dropping right into the floor beneath you, lowering the shoulders, relaxing the jaw to the degree that you can. So that you are not too loose and not too tight. Aware, awake, engaged. And take a moment to notice the impact on your body from the activity so far this morning. Now, kind of whole body awareness, noticing pulsing or vibration, tingling, temperature. What's the raw data that you are feeling in the body? What are you physically feeling? And you might want to also notice the points of contact with the body and the surface. So either the soles of the feet or along the back of the body. Right at that point of connection with the surface, what does that feel like? And take a moment now to include sound, which you may have already done, but sound in the room or outside of the room that you're in, engaging hearing. And bring up just a receptive mode so you don't have to go out and find anything. The sound will come to you so you can maintain that relaxed, aware posture, both in the mind and in the body. So just receiving sound, nothing to do, you don't label it, just hearing. And begin to bring awareness back inward to the whole body, allowing sound to remain as it will in the background. And let's go ahead and find an anchor for the wandering mind. So something that we can return to over and over again each time we see that the mind has wandered off, remembering that we're not inviting thoughts. Um, thoughts are slipping in often unnoticed until we notice them. And so the thinking is not a problem. In meditation, we're just deciding that we're not going to continue with the thought once we've noticed it has slipped in. And so looking for an anchor that feels easy for you today to, that could be tracking breath sensation anywhere in the body, you notice it when you inhale and when you exhale. And it could be a more narrow focus of attention, like on the nostrils. It could be a broader focus, which sometimes is a little bit easier. So as you breathe in and as you breathe out, kind of noticing the whole body move. And the idea is that you're feeling internally, feeling the inhalation, feeling the exhalation, as opposed to thinking about it. So just as you breathe, whether you notice it in a narrow way or a broader way, it doesn't matter. What's going to matter is the quality of awareness you can bring to those sensations. And alternatively, if breath isn't easy for you today, you can take the palms of your hands and rest them on your thighs or on a table in front. You could use a different point of connection that you're aware of that feels like it would be a good anchor for you to return to over and over again. So go ahead and see, sound is also an option. Take a moment to just connect with an anchor. And I would recommend that whatever anchor you select now, that you stay with that for the remainder of the practice and to not jump around, just to stay with that. So go ahead and find something that feels like it'll work for you today. And noticing where the mind is now. And you can make a soft mental note each time the mind wanders, and this time be specific. So if you're planning or regretting or worrying, just say that. So planning, whatever it is that where the mind takes you, and make a mental note of that. Release it, soften the body, and return to your anchor. So I'm going to be silent for the next few minutes. Noticing where the mind is. A soft mental note, what's happening. Soften the body. Return to your anchor. And as we bring this meditation to a close, may we be peaceful and at ease. May our heart be soft and open. May we be safe and protected, and our bodies healthy and strong. And may the merit of this practice be for the benefit of all beings everywhere. And as you feel ready, if your eyes were closed, you can open the eyes. And even if they were open, they were typically gazed downward. So take a moment to just take in your surroundings. Just look around the room, reorient to your space, take a moment to stretch.
Thank you so much, Tara.
You're welcome. So I would invite anybody to share any reflections or thoughts or questions, or sharing a book or a movie or an app that is relevant. So anything.
When you were mentioning earlier about building that resilient, well,
Yeah,
I guess
fortitude, or
fortitude, yeah. I was thinking of the Thich Nhat Hanh quote that strong emotions are like a storm.
yeah,
And if we support our practice every day, it's like we're preparing for that storm.
yeah,
And it even made me think about having a house on the water and how we build a foundation for that house on the water. And when the
mm-hmm.
storm comes, we're ready for that storm
Yeah,
by building that fortitude. So
yeah. And I think if things are going smoothly in life, that might feel, less inclined to practice. I think that can sometimes happen. Often when I teach, I say, you really need three things: trust, consistency, and patience. Trust that, not blind belief, but just trust in this process, and then test it for yourself, because it's empirical in nature. You get to see how you're relating to and engaging things that happen that you wish didn't. Um, and patience, because things don't often show themselves right away. And consistency, now, because all the neuroscience is saying that the benefits come with a regular practice. And it doesn't have to be every day, and it doesn't have to be long, drawn out time, that, even the shorter amounts of time really matter. So, sometimes if you're traveling, and 5 minutes is going to make a difference. It's like drops in the bucket of steadiness.
yeah, it
Yeah,
really is true. Even those small moments can remind us that you don't really need much.
yeah,
And think about how little we provide ourselves with that quiet time during our day, and what a gift it can be.
yeah, yeah. And
not always easy to get fitted in or to do it, but it
yeah.
can be. So.
Yeah, I mean, and I think I've always thought what makes it hard is that being with ourselves without any distraction brings stuff up. And this practice helps us to actually work with what comes up, because we don't know. We can't predict what memory is going to come up from 10 years ago or whatever. But that, yeah, that, oftentimes our lives are so full and there's a lot of distraction that when all of that is removed and we're with ourselves in this particular way, it's super challenging. It brings up anxiety. And so I want to just normalize that for people. Like that's, a very typical response to removing all the distraction. And then the idea is to get curious about if it's anxiety that shows up, like, what does that feel like in the body? So, drop your anchor and feel, where is that manifesting in you? Where do you feel the physical effect? And that's the practice. You're doing it correctly. You're learning to get some steadiness with unpleasant emotions. And then the pleasant emotions are easier to deal with, but the little hook there is that we typically don't want them to go away. So there's a little bit of grasping. So there's a challenge with that as well. It's just those are easier to manage, but to watch the desire for them not to change,
Yeah, and thank you, Janice, for sharing this app. I wasn't familiar with it. At Thich Nhat Hanh's monastery in Plum Village.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize there was an
It's
app.
a really, really good one. Yes, thank you. Actually, a friend at work just told me about it too. It's awesome.
I wasn't
So
familiar.
thank you so much, Janice. Yeah.
I wanted to mention, because when you were mentioning about some of the things coming up, I went on I think you might have been on this retreat, Tara. I went on my first 10-day retreat. And I remember when the 7 days came up, which is the longest retreat I had ever done.
Yeah.
I was just like, what am I doing? There was a lot of difficulty that came up. And I might have mentioned this to you in the past, but a smoke alarm went off. And I was like, now is my chance to escape.
Yes.
Like it was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it went, then it went off. And
Yeah.
I remember feeling like I'm going to go to my car and get my book. Like I just, all the things that you're really not supposed to do. And things pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
They
it was
pass.
just such a telling time. Like there can be some.
That's a really beautiful example, Suzanne. And it's like, they do pass. So even as something as subtle as an itch, one of the reasons we say, actually leave your anchor and bring your attention to the itch, but don't scratch it. See if you can be with the unpleasantness and receive the sensations, because they're going to go away. Whether you scratch the itch or not, they're going to go away. It's just a law of the universe. And that's a great example, I think, that you offered, just the, like, what am I doing here? Wanting to get out, wanting to distract, to get a book. And that's like, so I can't tell you how many times I've had a similar, slightly different, but very similar reaction. And then what if I'm just with that experience of wanting to get out, of wanting something different to happen? What if I just feel that in my body? Like, can I do that? Yes, I can actually do that. And you have to also watch, because you can cling to, well, it's going to pass, so I'm going to show up for it. Like, even like can be so subtle, because this could be like, well, I'm doing it still here. So you have to let go of that too.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was almost like the smoke alarm was like, wake up, you're here for a reason.
Yeah. It's such a good, but just being with the discomfort and the unsettledness of that. It's so great. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Janice, too. The way out is in. What a just listening to that phrase is helpful. So I know we're past our time here, but and Teresa, have a safe drive to your high school reunion.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Wow. 50th high school reunion.
Wow.
Wow. Have a
A lot of
wonderful,
fun,
yes.
but also a lot of things
Yeah,
can come
yes.
up. Mhm.
And you'll see a lot of change.
Yeah, for
Clearly.
sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Well, thank you, Tara, for your lovely guidance and wisdom this morning. And
Yeah.
thank you,
Thank you. Thank you,
everyone.
everybody. And thanks for hanging out for a couple extra minutes.
Mhm.
Just really good to be with everybody today.
Really is. And have a good weekend. We will see
Yeah.
you next week.
A long weekend, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, enjoy. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
And actually, I'm going to copy some of these. And I click some of these links so I can keep them before I end the.
Oh yeah. The Thich Nhat Hanh app is really good. It's some really good practices.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Bye,
All right.
everybody.
See you soon,
See
everyone.
ya.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Oh, put them on Facebook. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Suzanne, I forgot to post this morning, but yeah, do you mind putting that on? That'd be great.
All right. See you soon.
Yay.